I attended a service this morning, Love Your Neighbor service.
Yes.
That was put on, I think, by Urban Renewal. And was held at Church of God on East Street. The Prime Minister was keynote speaker. But I was especially moved by what Bishop Dr. Woodley Thompson said when he spoke about loving each other, respecting each other, and he called it Love Your Neighbor Program. And Love Your Neighbor Day, as a matter of fact. And I wonder, translating that here, can I not say today we are speaking about Love Your Country Day? Because this bill demonstrates love for your country once you are here. Because you decrease fraud, you improve honesty, you improve fairness, and you allow the one-to-one, one man, one vote principle. So today we are discussing the Love Your Country bill. So I tell you, I'm very brief today. Mr. Deputy, before I get into the bill, I also want to remind the residents of Galani that on the 23rd of this month, we will have our back to school, which is normally held at New Providence Community Church. We encourage all to come. And then the following week, as is usually done, yearly, which we normally participate or present for, the Rotary would have back to school in the Gambia Park community on the 30th. And I ask all Gambia residents to come out again and participate, as we would be there. But I rise on behalf of Kalani to make my contribution, to contribute to this Parliamentary Election Amendment Bill 2025. And this legislation is significant in that it affects how we conduct elections in our Commonwealth. And overall, the bill is an effort to continue the modernization of our voting system, which has seen a number of changes over the years. It is part of efforts first started by the last F&M administration, my administration, back in 2020. And I note previous upgrades by F&M governments beginning in 1992 following the failure of PLP of the day to modernize the system. And those of a certain age will remember previous problems like the election of 1987 and the many problems with the register of voters, which may have led to a dubious outcome. There's been a long-standing problem of getting a clean and updated register of voters, which often led to irregularities. A focus of the bill is the introduction of biometric voters' cards. They will include advanced security features such as digitized fingerprints, facial images, and digital signatures. The cards will be valid for 10 years, improving the previous system of voters' cards. And the bill provides for a voter verification exercise every decade, which will require voters to provide updated biometric data to confirm or amend the registration details. Additionally, the bill introduces the e-poll book, which will be a secure electronic device containing voter registers to streamline voter verification at polling stations. The goal of these measures is to improve the accuracy, security, and efficiency of the electoral process and reduce the rise of fraud or tampering, bolstering the integrity of the electoral process. These upgrades, Mr. Deputy, are essential and, most of all, critical. The current handwritten voters card system is obsolete and out of date. It is also more vulnerable to fraud, manipulation, and errors. We should have upgraded the voters card system many years ago. We have already updated how we issue driver's license and national insurance card, for example. And I listened to talk throughout. If we were to travel to the United States, we have no problem smiling for facial recognition. We have no problem giving our fingerprint. We give those very happily and smile on our way through. I go to the gym every day, and I am very happy giving my fingerprint in order to enter. If I don't give my fingerprint, I cannot enter. There are no complaints. There are certain businesses in the Bahamas. To move from department to department, you must smile and give your facial recognition. You must, and there are no problem. They smile and they're paid monthly. Then, Mr. Deputy, we don't have any problems giving our fingerprints to Mr. Apple or Google. They have it. They have our facial recognition. We do it every day. So what is the problem? We trust Apple. We trust Google. We trust Samsung. We trust the gym. Why can't we trust our administrators? I ain't start yet. Don't get to it. We must trust the system. Through this bill, Mr. Deputy, we move that process into the 21st century. I support this amendment bill, as I support modernizing our electoral system. We must take every opportunity we get to protect and enhance our democracy for the present and future generations. The principle of one person and one vote is a fundamental principle of democracy. In our political system, we believe, and listen to me very carefully. I want the Bahamas to listen to this. Listen to this very carefully, Mr. Deputy. In our political system, we believe that the power and opportunity to govern comes from the people. The power to sit in this parliament comes from the people. Every few years, the people get to decide on who they want to lead them. And very soon, Kalani will decide who they want to lead them. And I am certain and confident that Kalani will decide that I will lead them. Mr. Deputy, we in this House of Assembly are representatives of the people. Our power to make legislation is granted to us first by God and second by the people. The people temporarily by those who vote. That's you, the people. Using modern technology to help better organize our voter registration process will help us better protect our elections. We have been fortunate in our history that traditionally a high number of registered Bahamians have exercised their right to vote. Bahamians are engaged with the political process and look forward to coming to the polls to make their voices heard. Additionally, included in this amendment bill is punishment for anyone who seeks to illegally manipulate the process. This is important. We must always be on the lookout for bad actors. A person who knowingly provides false information or makes any false representation during a voter verification exercise shall be guilty of an offense and shall be liable on summary conviction to a fine not exceeding $10,000 or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 12 months or to both such fine and imprisonment. This provision, Mr. Deputy, creates a necessary deterrent for anyone seeking to engage in voter registration-related crimes. Mr. Deputy, the key to these changes will be in how they are implemented by the governing party. This, too, is essential. There is tremendous pressure on the Davis administration to get this right. We need the Prime Minister and the Minister of National Security to be focused, which is often lacking on both of their parts.
I know it's just wrapping the table.
As we have repeatedly seen with our Prime Minister, who is the Minister of Finance, getting a recent budget projection dead wrong. The Parliamentary Commissioner, let me finish, I ain't yielding. Mr. Deputy.
The floor recognizes the Honourable Member for Cat Island, Rumkins and Saladon.
I would. No, the Prime Minister said, tell him how I get it wrong. I don't want to utilize my time, but I would gladly engage the Prime Minister in such a way after I'm finished.
Point of order. Mr. Chairman, I'm not going to allow it to remain on the record that I got my budget wrong without the member either substantiating it or withdrawing it at this time.
Good.
Or have it stricken from the record. Tell me how this wrong.
Budget projection.
Projections, budget projections. If he could tell me how I got my budget, See the word he used? Projections wrong. You see, again, projections wrong. Whatever, I need him. But first of all, he said that I got, let me get it correct. No, he said I got the projection wrong. Projections wrong. Right, so I need to tell me either he withdraws that, because I'm ready for that debate at any time. I will pull up all what I've said and all the numbers, which was open not only to them to review and understand, but for the world and international bodies who look at them to confirm the health of our nation. So I need him to either withdraw it or tell us how it is now, and we can have that debate now.
Honorable member, are you prepared to quantify your statement or withdraw?
I'm not withdrawing anything. At the end of my speech, I would gladly clarify. I would gladly. But I am not getting tied down. I am not getting tied down. I am
not recognized honorable member for Carroll and Ram Kearns.
What I invite the chairman to do, since he is prepared for us to discuss it at the end of his communication, I'll invite him to withdraw it now and reiterate it at the end of discussion, so it wouldn't be on the record until then. And we could just talk about it then. That's the honorable thing for you to do.
Love thy neighbor.
Honorable member for Kalani, will you withdraw until the end of your debate?
I am an honorable man, and I do not want my time to run. I will withdraw it now, and I will bring it up at the end, because I stand by what I said.
Thank you, honorable member.
Bring it up at the end. So, Mr. Deputy, as I continue,
it has been withdrawn.
And I will bring it up at the end. The parliamentary commissioner will need to be provided with all the resources he needs to make this new system work. No election is constitutionally due until the fall of 2026. That means if the Prime Minister waits that long, the government could have up to just over a year before the next election. There is time to implement this new system, but it will take good management to ensure the work gets done properly. The Minister of National Security has said that once the legal framework is enacted and a public education campaign is launched, eligible voters whose biometric data already exist with the passport office will have the option to consent to a secure data transfer, which will reduce the need for in-person enrollment. This is a smart initiative, as it will save a tremendous amount of time and effort. The data that exists will simply be transferred from one state agency to another, rather than duplicating all of the efforts once again. And the government has also said that in the upcoming election, those who choose to keep their old voters' cards will be able to do so. I have no problem with this for this election. However, I think it would be wise to set this election as the last one in which handwritten voters' cards could be used. By that election, there would be enough time to ensure that everyone is on the new system. We should not want dueling systems to exist forever, with one being more secure and the other being handwritten on paper. We do not have two types of driver's license, for example. So we should set a time for the permanent phasing out of the old handwritten cards. Significant work must also be done to keep the people informed. This is key to ensuring the process works. We must make sure that a robust public education campaign takes place regarding these new voters' cards. This is something new, Mr. Deputy. Bahamians will have to be educated as to how the process will work. Conventional media, social media, and in-person meetings should take place to inform the electorate. Information sessions should take place across the country. We must not forget the family islands in this initiative. Bahamians should know what is required of them. They should know what the timelines are for the creation and distribution of the new cards. They should know what will be different about the registration and voting process as a result of these changes. And if the government is not able to communicate clearly and fully on the modernizations, Bahamians will be suspicious of what is taking place. That suspicion could undermine the people's confidence in the next election. The governing party is in charge. If this modernization effort, Mr. Deputy, descends into chaos and confusion, the governing party will be blamed for what goes wrong. No right-thinking person should want this process to fail and end up in confusion. We mostly have a history of free and fair elections. This occurs because the overwhelming majority think that free and fair contests occur between those who offer themselves for office. We must protect the people's confidence in this system. Additionally, just as public education is important, so are the technical and administrative implementation of the new process. We must get the rollout right. We must avoid major hiccups that undermine the integrity of the process. Let us not forget, Mr. Deputy, the previous tremendous mess, confusion, and technology problems at road traffic under this government. And inland revenue continues to be a source of frustration for scores of Bahamians. Mr. Deputy, I have several questions about what is to come. I have several questions. Does the government have the necessary technological support in place to execute this transition properly before the next election? How long will that change take? Does the Parliamentary Commissioner have sufficient staff to ensure this new system is implemented properly? And if he needs more people, how many? Will the government properly test the new system before it goes live? A poor rollout of the new biometric card system and confusion by the public could undermine the confidence in the good electoral system we have built over the decades. Mr. Deputy, I am pleased that we are moving forward with this modernization effort. And as mentioned, these changes are rooted in efforts set in motion by my administration. We were unable to fully execute this part of the upgrades to the voting system due to the national crisis of the pandemic. 2 hurricanes. The first, Irma, where we were successful in doing the first ever air evacuation from the south, resulting in no lives being lost. It is my hope that the current administration will take into consideration the issues raised in my presentation, along with those raised by my colleagues, so that we get these changes right. I pledge to assist the Parliamentary Commissioner with his communication efforts in the Kalani constituency, so that my constituents are well informed of what is coming and what they need to do as part of the changes. Mr. Deputy, I support this legislation. Now, Mr. Deputy, as I can repeat this. Mr. Deputy, I want to put back on the record what I read. I said, who is the Minister of Finance getting a recent April budget projection dead wrong? The PM said in his budget communication that initial reports was that April was going to be $135 million surplus. The Ministry of Finance reports that April was a $2 million deficit, substantially different. What the Prime Minister said was different from the Ministry of Finance report. But Mr. Deputy, carry on. I put on the record, carry on.
The floor recognizes Honourable.
It seemed to be that you got, you read a newspaper article, which did not reflect the truth, right? And it is the member of East Grand Bahama who is talking about what was done in April. Yes, we didn't say we had a surplus. We never said a surplus in. No, he just said it. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. You just see him just now? No. Did you not hear him say that just now? No. No, read what you said. Let him read again. Read it again. But you said right there. You're disappointing me these days, man.
Mr. Deputy, no, but the Prime Minister has a history of not taking responsibility. No. In 2014, before he was Prime Minister, he threw Christie under the bus. He threw his member for Fort Charlotte under the bus. He threw the member for Exuma and Ragged Island under the bus. He threw the member for Angliston, you know exactly when, under the bus. Mr. Deputy, and now the row between the Prime Minister and the Nassau Guardian's editor, he wants to throw her under the bus.
The floor recognizes Honourable Kerala Kians in Salvador.
Row with anyone. I have no row with anyone. The Guardian and whoever writes the Guardian, they have the right to do, they have the pen and they write what they say. All I ask is that they be as, we spoke about Nikki Kelly this morning. Understand the subject matter, understand the subject matter upon which you write. I understand the subject matter upon you write, and do your own thorough research. You see, he said, I predicted a surplus. All right, or I projected a surplus in April. I never projected a surplus in April. And in fact, the concept of the deficit in April was raised by the member for East Grand Bahama.
Yes, correct.
That he continues to repeat. And what we said was that.
Let him say crazy. Let him say.
No. You know but what we said, we are not denying there was a deficit. We're not denying that there was a deficit. That is why, see the argument. There's no argument. We never said that there would be a surplus in April. We never said that there was not a deficit in April. We projected what the deficit would be in April, and that projection turned out to be off, which we accept, right? But it was no, please, man, no, that's not what. Fine. Fine.
Surplus.
No. So let's please. If that's all you, get up. Please get up and say that again, please. I just want you. That's all you said. That's all I need. Just say. Put that on record.
Mr. Chair,
That's all.
we quoted what you said in your budget communication. We quoted that. So there was no misunderstanding as to what we said, you said. We quoted that in the release. If you had read the release that I articulated, I quoted what you said in the budget communication. And it was a projection of what April would have been. And it was off. When you had your Ministry of Finance report, your Ministry of Finance report said something different from what you projected. That's simple. That's all we said. You said something in your budget communication. We quoted it, and then your Ministry of Finance report said something different. That's all we said, and we ask you to explain the difference. That's all.
Recognize the honorable member from Cat Island, Ramkins and Salona.
See, Mr. Chairman, and you see, all during the course of the year, right, a person who sat in the Ministry of Finance who would appreciate that the finances of the government is up and down. Correct. Right? Some months you'll have deficit, and so they will use every time there's a month of deficit, major deficit, forgetting that the year still has to be finished. When I projected that the April during my budget communication, I projected that there would be a deficit in April. Never. No.
Will be $135 million surplus in April. That's what you said in your budget communication. The Ministry of Finance report said it was a $2 million deficit.
2.1 million.
Again, you earlier said that you accepted I said there was a deficit. And now you're coming back and saying, no, it was a surplus. The surplus, first of all, and that's where the confusion. No, Mr.
Your budget communication said that you had a projected April $135 million surplus. That's what you said in your budget communication. But in the Ministry of Finance's actual April's report, it had a $2 million deficit. It is a difference of $137 million. That was what prompted us to ask the question.
The chair recognizes the member for Cat Island from Kingston, Salvador.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, I think my budget communication is somewhere around here. And instead of going back and forth on this issue, let me just say this. The only surplus I spoke about for the year, for the budget year, 2025, there was a surplus. There was a surplus, right? But it was what we call the primary surplus. There was a primary surplus. No, please. No, I'm not missing up the two. No, I'm not missing up the two. Because I say that to say, I then projected a surplus for the year 25, 26. That's where the surplus is. The surplus I projected was for the year 25, 26. Not for the year 23, 24, 25. Right? And as he's aware, the posting to accounts through the Treasury could happen in a year. For April's postings were still being done in May. That's right. When I was speaking in May, postings were being done, and I was speaking as of the end of April. So some of the postings in May had not yet been posted. So that's why it was a projection. Yes. Right. And so it was a projection. Okay. And the surplus, I said, the only surplus I spoke of for the year 24, 25 was a primary surplus, which means our income and expenditure minus our huh?
You have the actual communication.
Okay, yeah. You have my communication? No.
As you normally do.
The floor recognizes the member from East Grand Bahama.
This is what was quoted inside your budget communication. With strong revenue performance, preliminary data shows April 2025 at a surplus position of 135 million. So that's what you said in your budget communication, that April was at a $135 million surplus position. The actual Ministry of Finance report came in at a $2 million deficit for April. So we asked the question. In your budget communication, you said $135 million surplus. The actual report said a $2 million deficit. It is a $137 million difference. Kindly explain what that difference is. What accounts for that difference? That's what was said.
Just
My
say
communication.
your speechwriter was wrong.
No. Because I always was aware of a potential deficit in April. Yeah. I'm saying, but I will look at it myself and I revisit it. Yes. But the surplus, I did speak about a surplus in that. Yeah, okay.
The floor recognized the honourable member for
We
Kalani.
understand now. But Prime Minister, you
The
can
chair,
make life
sorry.
easy
The chair,
and just say the speechwriter was wrong. But as you normally do. Mr. Deputy, I support the bill.
Thank you, honourable member. As many